Good evening. My name is Adam, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Real Life, Real Tarot. Okay, so what we're going to do is look at a question from a querent who is interested in finding more about the girl she likes and whether those feelings are reciprocated. So, this reading will require a significator, and our querent was great enough to let us know what their star signs are. So I believe our querent is Taurus, which means it would be the King of Coins. Where are you, King of Coins? Oh dear God, hang on. Now, I would ordinarily be a lot quicker at this, but the deck I chose has a rather dark color palette, and it kind of sometimes makes the cards a little bit harder to discern. Here we go. King of Coins, King of Pentacles. Now, given that our querent is a Taurus, I've chosen the King of Coins to signify her because the King of Coins is typically the card associated with the star sign Taurus. The person, her love interest happens to be the Queen of Swords. The star sign Libra, which is often a Queen card, and the Sword suit. So the Queen of Swords is what we're going to use to explore what the feelings are of her lover. Her love interest. Now, what we're going to do is look into the mind of both cards to figure out how do they feel about each other. So not only are we going to be able to figure out what her lover, the person that she's interested in, is thinking and feeling about her, but it's also likely that we're going to look at we're definitely going to be looking at how our querent feels about the person that she's interested in. Some of it may be obvious. Certainly by the question, it's going to be a little bit obvious, but let's have a go at it anyway. What you are doing right. What you are doing wrong. How does the girl you're interested feel about you? What can you do to improve that? And how can you get the girl to give you more of what you want? What she is doing right. what she is doing wrong. How do you see her? What can you do to improve that? And what can she do? Sorry, wait. How can she give you more? Wait, what? Oh my god, I'm getting confused. How can she get you to give her more of what she wants? You know what I mean. Hang on, let me just check to see. Yeah, everything is in view. Alright, let's begin. Let's start with yourself. So, what are you doing right? We see the Eight of Wands for what you are doing right. Now, the Eight of Wands is someone that, well, often depicts the movement swiftness, the feeling of things moving fast, things moving rapidly, decisions getting made, and then I guess progressing very quickly. And being that it's reversed, what you are doing right is quite the opposite. You're taking things slowly. You're taking things as they come, one day at a time, and appreciating every moment rather than rushing into something or jumping into conclusions. Now, that may not be what you might really want to do, but nonetheless, that slowness is appreciated. What are you doing wrong? Okay. Now, this is a pretty dark card, and I have no doubt that it's not showing correctly on camera. So we have the Nine of Swords here, and it's also reversed. The Nine of Swords is a card that often depicts a woman lying in bed with, nine swords above her, and this card often depicts anxiety, the fears. You've attained a lot of information. Some would say too much information. All the what ifs now suddenly come rushing to you. What if things go wrong? What if this happens? What if this happens? Can you bear it? And before you know it, you start losing sleep. Nine of Swords is all about attainment. And what this kind of suggests reversed is that you may be overthinking things to your detriment, or worrying yourself and perhaps overanalyzing every possibility, or just seeing too much into small details, and it's doing your head in. So this may not be anything that you're doing wrong towards her, more something about doing things wrong for yourself. You are overanalyzing absolutely everything. I know this because I've been there myself. Okay. Now, how does your partner see you? Moment of truth. Three of Cups. We have that here. The Three of Cups is a card of abundance. It's a card of good times and fond memories, and generally a card of party. This card basically depicts a good time. She enjoys your company. She celebrates with you. She's happy for the fact that you are in her life. Perhaps the two of you have been through some hard times and you've come through all of them, or simply that you help her advance that feeling of love. So she sees you very favorably, and that you have her, that she has you by her side. So this is also a card of teamwork. Is it a romantic card? Yeah, it can be. Absolutely. So there is a possibility that she sees you the way you want her to see you. But we have a lot more to uncover, okay? So calm down. Okay, now what can you do to improve that? So there's already this feeling of love. She enjoys your company and she celebrates in it. We have, God, we have the Five of Swords. Excuse me. This is an interesting one. The Five of Swords is often depicted by in traditional Rider-Waite decks. This card depicts, a character making off with a bunch of swords, and often it sort of symbolizes trickery, deception, fuckboy energy, and this card essentially, yes, symbolizes that, where, you advance, but it's kind of unfair advance, like as in you cheated or you manipulated in order to get what you want. And depending on the type of the reading, it can be good, but in relationship reading, it's kind of manipulative, or kind of, it's not like there's no sense of fairness. So, now, reversed, it kind of suggests that energy of manipulation goes away, and what's needed is honesty, vulnerability, where rather than, getting your back up or showing off or showing, flexing, what you can do to improve the way the girl sees you is basically being more honest, open, vulnerable, communicating your intentions, rather than, just pretending like it's not there. Okay, how can I get my partner to give me more of what I want? Oh God. Yes, I think that's what it was. Two of Cups. Now, this card is generally fairly self-explanatory. This card is all about choices, the idea of actually having those feelings and then starting to do something about them, like asking a person out on a date. How can she give you? How can I get my partner? How can you get your partner to give you more of what you want? So, I guess the question is, what can she do for you? And when this card shows up, typically it means, the act of asking a person out, the act of proposal, the act of actually being honest about your intentions. And being reversed, I hesitate to actually guess, but there is a possibility is that she may just want friendship. Or, hang on, no, I'm not reading it correctly. How can I get my partner? So what can you do to get? I guess it sounds like what you want is for her to ask you out rather than you making the first move. Because I think what this card is giving, the energy I'm kind of getting from this card and for your side, is that you want to be put out of your misery by her making a move. Perhaps you've made a lot of the moves and you're kind of low-key hoping that she shows interest back at you, and that kind of hasn't really happened that way. So you kind of fear that if you make the first move, she'll there's a risk that she might just go, actually I just want to be friends. So there's a risk of rejection, that risk of yeah. So you kind of are hoping that she would make the first move. I'm going to come back to this card because it's not super clear just yet. So bear with me. Okay. Let's have a look at her mind. What's going on in her head? So what are you doing right? What is she doing right for you? We have number 13, death. And death reversed, no less. I believe it was like that. Yes. So death reversed. First, about death. Death is often a card that symbolizes change and transformation. It is a card that often depicts, a person transforming into something else, something better. It sort of symbolizes evolution. And reversed, it kind of depicts staying within your lane, staying within your comfort zone. And perhaps what she's doing right by you is that she doesn't, she makes you comfortable. She keeps you comfortable rather than challenge you. You enjoy her company, you feel safe in her company, and she gets to stay. You get a sense that things won't change for the worse, but also not for the better either. Either. So that's what she's doing right. What is she doing wrong? The Lovers. So, what's she doing wrong by you? Interesting card to be in the wrong position. We have the Lovers here. Two people coiled together, intertwined together, and then a bunch of shattered glass depicting a whole bunch of faces that symbolize, well, people, I guess, two people kissing of all genders and whatnot. This is an interesting card to be found as to what you're doing wrong, because this card often symbolizes connection. Just connection. Not just like, physical intimacy, but a general spiritual intimacy. Now this card can also be sister sibling kind of connection, it can be mother daughter connection. It symbolizes connection. And what I think she's doing wrong, simply put, I think there's that sense that you feel a connection with her, but it's kind of been painful because you don't know if she sees you as a friend or she sees you as a lover. But nonetheless, that connection is still there. And it's frustrating you. Okay. How do you see her? We have the Eight of Cups. Now, the Eight of Cups often depicts the idea of a person turning their back upon a bunch of broken glasses, broken cups. Now, the story behind it basically is that things are going well, probably a little bit too well, but there's a sense that it's just not enough. It's a sense that it's starting to feel a little bit boring. So our main character decides to turn their back on it in search of something bigger, something more important. Eights are always about advancement, just as Eight of Wands. And you've got an 8. She's got an 8 towards you as well. Now, this card was reversed as well. And what she sees you as is someone perfectly within her comfort zone. Does she want anything more? This is an interesting one because I don't feel like she does necessarily. I'm really sorry to say. The 8 often tells you as a sign that, 8s are not 10s. 10s symbolize completion, symbolizes the end chapter. 8s generally symbolize that, yes, it's great, but it shouldn't be enough. Like, you're still not there. And being that it's reversed, it kind of suggests that she's not even happy with what she has, in the sense that she doesn't want anything more. She doesn't want anything more than what she has in front of her. She's happy where the relationship is, but that's kind of what it feels like. That's where it stops for her. But let's keep going anyway. What can she do to improve her position in your eyes? Interesting. We have the card Temperance, and Temperance is often depicted by an angel with 2 cups in their hands, throwing, like, I guess, with a bunch of water traveling in between. Temperance is about balance, moderation, harmony. It's a very passive card. It's a very neutral card. It's a very peaceful card. And when it's reversed, it often symbolizes that sense of excess, a sense of desire, a sense of breaking that passiveness and actually advancing, like making a move, even like a sexual advancement. Temperance is a very non-sexual card. It's very high-minded, very spiritual. And that can be great. But if you want something physical, then yeah, what you kind of want is for her to actually make a physical move towards you, or at least advance in some way. Finally, how can she get you to give her more of what she wants? How can she get you to give her more of so what does she want from you? Huh, Hermit. Not super great. So we have our main character here is wise beyond their years. They're wise because they take time out to go within themselves and find out what they actually want in life. This is a character of self-reflection. This is a card of looking within and not being swayed by society or other people's interests in order to find your answers. What she wants from you is to look elsewhere. Perhaps, to acknowledge that she may not be able to give you what you want in this relationship. And perhaps, she would like you to actually find that elsewhere. That's the vibe I'm getting from this. So let's have a look, a recap. Really need a glass of water, but that's gonna wait. Okay. Before I do a recap, I just want to count something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. So excluding our querents, our significator cards, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of 10 cards are reversed, and that kind of doesn't have great tones in it. It can suggest that perhaps all in all, this is not like a positive relationship. It's not advancing in the direction that you would like it to be. So let's have a recap. We see one of the things that she likes from me is that you are taking things slow. And perhaps I think you're also respecting her space. The more I kind of see the card in the context of everything that I've looked at, the more I think that you're a profoundly respectful person. You're not making any untoward advances towards her. And she really appreciates that. I kind of suspect that she knows what your intentions are. Well, let's keep going. Now, one of the things that that's not doing you any favors, perhaps in her view, or just perhaps in general, is the fact that you do tend to overthink, overanalyze, and even stress a lot about where this relationship is going, if at all. What she loves about you is that you are genuinely a fun person. You're a great support. You're actually a great friend. You're there for the good times and the bad times. And she recognizes that in you as a person. What can you do to improve that? There's not a lot you can do to improve on your current position, but perhaps what this card is kind of suggesting, the Five of Swords reverse, is to be honest with your intentions, be honest with yourself. Would you give her the intention that you're giving her if you didn't have this underlying desire to have her as a romantic partner? If not, then are you doing her any favors? Would your relationship change with her if you kind of realize that she was not the one, or she was not really interested in you. So that's the kind of thing that this card is inviting you to consider. So how can she give you more of what you want? I think what this card is suggesting to me is that you would like her to show more emotion, show more appreciation, and perhaps even make a move. We see the Two of Cups here, which often depicts two people making out, showing romantic attraction towards each other, or just a connection towards each other. And yeah, she hasn't really given you what you want in that regard. Okay. So what is she doing right by you? This is an interesting card to actually put as what she's doing right, because it kind of suggests that she stays within her comfort zone. She doesn't challenge you. She doesn't question you. She doesn't push you away. She allows you to be comfortable in your own skin. And that might be something that you need right now. What are you doing wrong? Or what's she doing wrong towards you? I suppose giving you mixed messages. We see two lovers here intertwined, and the lovers card can be just symbolize the connection between two people, and that can be to a mother daughter. It can be siblings. It can be just a connection to co-workers even, but it can be really hard to interpret that if you have romantic interests in them. Okay. So how do you see her? How do you see her? I sometimes am stumped because of the way I'm actually interpreting these cards. The aim of this is to get into her brain and see how you see her. This card often symbolizes the feeling of boredom, that 8 is not enough and you kind of want to go more. I think there's this possibility that being that is ill aspected, this can mean two things. One is you see her as an exciting adventure. She's not boring whatsoever. But the other possibility is that she's not challenging you the way you need to be challenged. She's very much a person that is within your comfort zone. And I don't know if it's necessarily a good thing, even though it might feel like a good thing right now. What can she do to improve herself in your eyes? Well, I suppose this card is telling you that the obvious, you would like her to make a move. And she's definitely not doing that. She's definitely not showing anything beyond just that. I guess that platonic connection, there's a connection there, but it's not the kind of connection that you're looking for, something a bit more physical. And finally, what she wants from you is to actually look elsewhere. I think she suspects your intentions. This card tells that to me. This card tells that. This card as well. And these two cards as well. I think she knows what your interests are, but what it kind of says is that she would like you to actually find love in another direction because she's not able to give that to you. Yeah. It's not the reading I was hoping to give you. I would love to give you favorable news, but this is the reading these are the cards that came up. Do let me know what you think. I would be more than happy to get any feedback. If you do like my reading, please like and subscribe. I've also left it anonymous. Hopefully that helps as well. But otherwise, thank you very much and have a wonderful night. Cheers.